This is from trekmovie.com. Jonathan Frakes says, quote, Star Trek Discovery is back on track. And then he also likens season 5 of Discovery to First Contact, which Aaron Waltke in the live chat just agreed with to one degree or another. I'm shocked by this. Let's read a little bit of this and maybe I'll understand it a little bit better. Star Trek The Next Generation legend Jonathan Frakes is all over the Star Trek franchise these days, directing the various shows and appearing as Riker in both Lower Decks and more recently in the final season of Picard. His work will next be seen in the 5th and final season of Star Trek Discovery. He directed the first half of the 2-part season and now series finale. In a new interview, Frakes talked about how Discovery changes things up in the final season. So here is his question, or here's his answer. He says, Discovery, by the way, is Indiana Jones this year instead of the heavy emo of season 4.
Oh.
That's interesting. Discovery is back on track as an action-adventure show. And I guess they got their marching orders to maintain that. Everybody has embraced it, from co-showrunners Michelle Paradise and Alex Kurtzman down through the cast. There's a new energy and a new mandate. Okay. First, I don't know. Is he, when he says emo, heavy emo, that almost has a negative connotation. But I do know that Indiana Jones has a very positive connotation. And he's saying that they're going back to being Indiana Jones. Did you guys always view Discovery as Indiana Jones type?
Well, he's not saying they're going back to Indiana Jones. He's saying that they are going to be Indiana Jones in the sense that Discovery Season 5 is a quest story. It's about looking for the greatest treasure in the known galaxy. So there's going to be a lot more, as I understand it, a lot more adventure, a lot more seeking out stuff, a lot more running into the unknown, and probably a lot of hair-raising scenarios that they barely get through and barely survive. So that's kind of what I'm thinking he means by Indiana Jones.
Adventure, excitement. A Jedi craves not these things.
Wrong franchise.
He also mentions the levity in Indiana Jones and bringing that to Discovery as well, which I think is awesome. And knowing that he took inspiration from films like Jaws and Aliens and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Blade Runner. I think that he's thinking like Spielberg and Ridley Scott type of style, which emulates First Contact.
To me, Indiana Jones
take inspiration from Star Trek. Star Trek's pretty amazing.
That's already infused in there. Well, I think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's already part of it. And then which direction? I want them to be like Star Wars and like have like a Jedi. Well, Elnor was almost like a Jedi, kind of. He was
kind of like a Jedi.
He was like a nin Jedi.
Yeah. But I think it's more about taking inspiration from people that inspire you and then infusing it into things that you love as well and making it bigger.
Yeah, and I get the sense Discovery Season 5 is meant to be a bit more fun. Well, I think what he meant by the heavy emo Season 4 was it was a heavy season. You know, it was galactic stakes. The DMA was destroying planets. I mean, it started with Book's planet getting destroyed and him dealing with the trauma of that. And then he and Burnham broke up. And then, he and Dr. Ruwan Tarka basically betrayed the Federation and tried to destroy species 10C. There was a lot of heavy stuff in that season. So I think
I was going to say, John, great job remembering Tarka's first
Great
name.
recap.
I'm like, wow, you even remember Tarka's first name. It was gone from my memory.
Oh, well, I've actually had some really cool interactions on Twitter with Sean Doyle, who played Dr. Ruwan Tarka. So that name's infused in my memory because he's such a cool guy.
Awesome.
I'm still not sure how something can be both Indiana Jones and First Contact style. Like, I feel like those are different to me. So I'm going to need to look a little further on this before I decide how I feel about it. He says, it was a thrill for me to try to find some levity in some of those discovery scenes. That's why First Contact was successful, because you build and then add just a little levity to steam it out so you can restart. That's why Deadpool is such a fabulous franchise, because it doesn't hurt. Audiences can handle levity. The Indiana Jones reference is a perfect example. Nobody did that better than Spielberg. I'm not seeing the quote. Can you guys tell me?
I think he means something like, you broke your little ships.
Yeah. Or, I've never fired a ray gun before.
It's my first ray gun.
It's my first ray gun. Yeah, that's it.
Or Troy. I can't do her drunk quote.
Ryan, that's okay. Ryan can.
What? It's
You
a
love
primitive culture.
It's a primitive culture. You're blended all right.
A leak? Take a leak?
So jokes in Discovery would be fun.
Mhm.
Just to see that cast kind of cut loose a bit and not always just have the weight of the galaxy on their shoulders. And
Yeah.
Michael crying every episode, which I love Michael, but my gosh.
That's why I love the
goes
music
through the
to
ringer.
make the sanest man go mad. I thought that was like the perfect Discovery episode. Like,
Yeah, that was
it
great.
wasn't. It was just a bottle episode, and you got to have like little character moments, like like talking about like the opera that Culber and Stamets were going to go see, and Tilly's musician phase. And it was just perfect. And Michael going to her first dance. I loved it. So beautiful.
Okay, so Anne-Marie just mentioned Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad as a bottle episode. Everybody in the live chat,
So good.
there are 2 Discovery bottle episodes as far as I know. There's Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. What is the other one?
The one where they go on the planet in season 2, where they
Everybody in the live chat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, because I assumed you guys would know, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
You mention it like all the time.
I do, because I like to show off the 4 bits of knowledge that I still retain. Okay. So maybe I'm beating this First Contact thing to death. Maybe I'm taking him too literally, but I was just trying to understand, does he mean elements of First Contact or just like tone, in that First Contact was kind of an action movie? There was just a lot going on. Maybe that's
tone.
what they...
I think he means tone as
I
well.
also need to just go ahead and subscribe to Star Trek Explorer. You can read these. Seems amazing.
It's a really good issue. It's dense. It's packed with stuff. It's 100 pages.
Yeah,
There's a lot to read.
crazy.
What?
Yes, like Larry has a corner. One Trek fan has guest columns sometimes for like collector's corner. I think Larry's is called like Fistful of Data or something cute. And then
Oh,
he has
smart.
like 5 or 6 pages.
yeah, and then like Lisa Klink will do like short stories. Some of the actual writers from like 90s Trek will do short stories. I think Jake Black has a Nog one coming up in the next issue.
Mhm.
Can't wait.
Faith Howell in the live chat says Elnor was like Legolas. I agree 100%. Faith Howell, I do, because Lord of the Rings fans stick together. So DJ Kitty Cat in the live chat says the one where Saru gets aggressive on that planet. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. It's called Pavo, I believe was the planet was called. Pavo.
That's season 1 episode.
Yeah, I think season 1, maybe episode 6 or 7. It was right in there.
Yeah.
Not 7, because that's Magic to Make the Same go mad, I think.
I think it was
it might have
after.
been the one right after.
Yeah, it was after that. I think it was 8. It may have
So
been
they
8.
did two standalone bottle episodes in a row then. It's been a while.
If memory serves. But there's a good, where did it go? It was a good.
Saw New Eden as a bottle episode,
Which one was New Eden?
where they go to the planet and the humans were established a new territory, and they were descendants from World War III.
Yeah, they were beamed there by the Red Angel. That was like episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah, and Owell gets like a little bit of a storyline finally.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's a
so
great
Aaron
episode.
Wilkie reminds us.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You always mention it.
It basically set up time travel that the show would do later on. Because New Eden was the target Discovery and Michael were aiming for when they were jumping to the 32nd century, and they missed it by a mile.
Oh, gotcha.
Sounds like a fun one. I'll have to
So Aaron
refresh.
Wilkie says the commercial for Triple Cereal is technically self-contained in the short track Trouble with Edward. But what that reminded me of is that I just learned like last week that commercial was made by Casper Kelly, who's making the very short tracks right now.
That
I didn't realize
rascal.
he had like worked on Star Trek before.
That totally tracks.
Yeah.
That was his like interview or his like audition.
Yeah, what about, I feel like he may have done more. But did he do any of the other short treks or just that commercial?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So
I got referenced on StarTrek.com this week.
Aaron also follows up about the comparison from Discovery to First Contact. He says, I meant in tone, action, humor, high concept adventure, and character moments of drama. Yeah, I think that must be what they also meant, because I'm such a nitpicker. The second they said somebody compared it in any way to First Contact, I'm like, all right, I'm just
listening.
Well, I'm also like unsure. I'm like excited, but also, so I don't know, because maybe I'm just too. It's not like Star Trek fans to be defensive about their favorite stuff,
Amazing.
Not at all.
Yeah, we're nerds. All right. Muhammad said New Eden was season 2, episode 2. That's Dr. Muhammad, nor occasional Star Trek science advisor for Discovery and others. He says New Eden was season 2, episode 2, the episode with the church. Yeah, I vaguely remember it. Okay.
It's a great episode.
Yeah, they had really good stained glass on the church. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a Pike heavy episode that
I remember it now. Yes, you're right. And they had like that push and pull between Burnham and Pike about the religion and the science and all that.
Yeah.
It's so TOS who mentions Eden like every other episode. No, they're watching TOS. Oh my gosh, like Eden Fest.
Excellent knowledge, everybody. Excellent knowledge. I feel smarter already. I'm sure that'll pass. But so let's move on. Here's another thing that I found to be very interesting. It is an article by /film.com. And by the way, I love that Star Trek is being covered so vastly by things like Variety, /film. Screen Rant is the best of the best. But it's being covered everywhere. Time Magazine, Sports Illustrated did a whole article on
Food and Wine.
Yeah, Food and Wine.
Kitchen.
Yeah,
Food and Wine.
That's great. When I went to my Ralph's,
one of my dreams is to write for Food and Wine and cover Star Trek.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that should be
only cover Star Trek for Food and Wine.
I want to see the Sports Illustrated issue of Star Trek.
Yeah, it had a whole page layout of Riker and his dad doing ambo jitsu, and like the rules, and they were like shirtless, like glistening. It wasn't that hot actually. Come to think of it, now that I'm remembering what it looked like.